Okay, this is Unwind with Lucia. We're going to carry on with the lying down series for stretching out the leg muscles, which will also help alleviate lower back pain. Okay, so start with sitting on your mat. You're going to bend your knees hip width apart. You're going to put your hands on the front of your knees. And remember, we're going to lift the sternum up and away from the belly button so we create a nice long spine. You're going to pull in the belly button. Work the pelvic floors, just zip up between the tailbone and the pubic bone. So imagine you've got a little zip. Just going to do that up. So you've just got the whole area all around your core, just nicely working and engaged, activated for these next few stretches and exercises. So as you breathe in, you're going to open through the chest. Then as you breathe out, you're going to round the spine and allow the shoulder blades to come apart. You're going to breathe in to lift and breathe out to round through the spine. Good. Breathing in to lift. We'll just do 5. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. Good. Then you're going to lengthen one leg. Straighten it so we get a bit of a nice leg stretch at the same time as lengthening and strengthening through the spine. So breathe in, lift. Breathing out round the spine and separate the shoulder blades. Breathing in to lift. Breathing out. And 3. 4. 5. Great. Then you're going to swap to the other leg. Some of these moves are taken from Kim Saha, who was the physio Pilates coach for the Olympic team back in 2012. So breathing in, lift. Breathing out around the spine, shoulder blades apart. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out round. And 3. 4. And 5. Great. Then lengthen both legs. You're going to flex the feet for the moment. Then find a comfortable spot where you can just kind of allow your spine to feel like it's being stretched. Either rest your hands under your thighs, under your knees, or under your calves, wherever keeps you in that spot. If you need to sit here, that's fine. Just sit here. Just allow your head to rest a little bit so you get the full back extensor muscles having that little bit of a stretch. Once you've found your comfy spot and you're feeling the stretch, just flex and point alternate feet so you can feel all that myofascia being stretched out through the lower back, along the posterior side of your body, down the back of the legs, through the calves, all the way up to the tip of your head, really. So we're doing what we did with the spiky ball in the other series. The spiky ball helps release some of the fascia, so you get a bit more movement through your muscles, tendons, ligaments, the whole shebang. Okay, so just stretching out there a little bit. Great. Then sit up. And when you're ready, we're going to lay down on our back. If you've got a block, have a block under your head. Otherwise, a very fine, thin pillow. Lay down on your pillow. So we're going to do some work for hip mobility. So keep the knees and feet hip width apart. Keep that core engaged. As you breathe in, you're going to allow the knee to open out to the side, and breathing out back up to the center. Other side. Breathing in, open out to the side. Breathing out up to the center. So keep your hips still. You're just moving through the knees to allow the ball and socket joint, so where your leg bone comes into your hip, to just have that bit of movement but you're not allowing the hips to kind of roll all over the place. You're controlling the movement, controlling your hips. Okay. Well done. Then from here, you're going to bring your hands onto your ribs. You're going to bring your feet close together and your knees touching. And then this time we're going to have a little bit of a spine twist and a stretch. You're going to allow the soles of your feet to come off the mat, but we're going to keep the ribs planted on the mat and the shoulders. So as you breathe in, allow the soles of the feet to come off, allow the hips to come away. Have a little bit of a stretch. If you look in the opposite direction, it feels like a nice stretch. Then as you breathe out, squeeze through the waist muscles, squeeze through those abdominals to bring the knees back up to the center. Then breathing in, allow the soles of the feet to come off over to the other side. Breathing out back to the center. So we'll do 6, so it's even for either side. 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Then you can either keep your hands here or down by your sides. We're going to bring the legs up to the right angle so the knees sit comfortably above the hip. So you feel those knees dropping into that hip joint. Keep those abdominals working, core engaged. We don't want the back to be arching, we want to be working the abdominals. So as you breathe in this time, you're going to take the knee out to the side, keeping those hips still. It's all about control. Breathing out to center, breathing in to open, and breathing out to center. Good. Breathing in to open, breathing out center. 4. Again, we'll just do 6. Keeping your abdominals switched on, so there's no work into the back. And 6. Well done. If you want to hug your knees, hug your knees. Then we're going to keep the knees and the feet and the ankles close together. You're going to take the lower legs up towards the ceiling. Now this is level 4, so if you need to give yourself a few weeks to build up to this, give yourself a few weeks. Bring your arms out to the side, palms down towards the floor to give you a nice wide balance foundation, or you can rest your hands on your ribs, whatever works for you. We're going to do the hip crossover. So as you breathe in, you come halfway down towards the floor, keeping your ribs and shoulders down on the mat. As you breathe out, slowly coming back up. So breathing in, top of the ribs and shoulders on the mat. Breathing out, working through the waist muscles, those obliques to come back to the center. And 3. And 4. Last 2. And last 1. Well done. Hug your knees. And then bring those feet and knees down on the mat, hip width apart. Keep the core engaged. Then when you're ready, as you breathe out, just lengthen a leg along your mat and flex your foot. And breathe in, retrieve the leg. As you breathe out, extend the leg along the mat and flex your foot so you get a leg stretch, and breathe in, return. Breathing out, lengthen, flex, breathe in, return. 4. So you're keeping your shoulder blades down your back, collarbones nice and wide. 5. So on the last 2 here. And last 1, lengthen, flex the foot. Well done. Now we're going to work into the hip flexors a little bit. So breathing in, as you breathe out, you're going to bring your leg up into the right angle. You're going to breathe in and straighten so the legs of the thighs are parallel. Breathe out, bend, and breathe in, lower. Other side, breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, bend. Breathe in, lower. And 3. Keeping the shoulders down, collarbones wide. Just working the lower part of the body. Breathe out, lift into the right angle. Breathe in, extend. Breathe out, bend. Breathe in, lower. Last 2. Make sure that you really straighten that leg so you work in the VMO muscle, which is the muscle vastus medialis oblique, which will help support your knees and keep your knees strong and avoid, well, prevent a knee operation or put it off to a long distance into the future. Okay, then we're going to bring those knees up into the right angle. Again, this is level 3 now, so if you just want to keep it at level 2, the one we just did, keep it at level 2 for a few weeks. Keep the shoulders down the back, arms nice and long, knees above the hips. Then as you breathe in, you're just going to straighten the leg, then breathe out, bend. Breathing in to straighten, breathing out to bend. Breathing in to straighten, breathe out, bend, and 4. So again, it's really working through these obliques. Last one. Well done. Hug your knees. Now we're going to do a hip flexor stretch. So take hold of one leg under the knee, around the thigh, and stretch out the other leg. So you get a good hip flexor stretch. Also, while you're here, we can move straight into the piriformis stretch. So bend that knee, place your ankle over this side, push your knee away. Then if you need a band or a strap to take hold of this thigh of the leg that's on the floor, have a band or a strap or a dressing gown belt handy. Otherwise, if you can, take your hands, thread them through the leg, and as you breathe out, just gently pull it towards you. Breathe in, release. If you can, use this elbow, push this other leg away from you so you really feel the stretch through the piriformis. Breathe out. You can either just hold it for 15 to 20 seconds, or you can breathe in, release, breathe out, stretch if it's too much for you to hold it initially. Lovely. Then we're going to do the stretch to the other side. So hip flexor stretch first, lengthen that leg, stretch it out. Just stretch out through your hip flexors on this leg. And again, you can hold it for 15, 20, 30 seconds. Then when you're ready, just bend this other knee. We're going to do the piriformis stretch on this side. Bring the knee over, push that knee away. Take a nice breath in. Then when you're ready, either with your belt or your hands, take hold of this other knee and push that thigh away if you can. If you want, breathe in, release, breathe out, stretch. Breathe in, release, breathe out, stretch. If you can, just hold it for 15, 20, 30 seconds. Okay? Well done. And we're just going to do the hip stretch. So lengthen one leg, cross this foot over, and if you can, bring that knee down. Use the opposite hand to bring that knee down, and then bring this arm out the other side. And just feel that stretch all through your hip. Try and relax into it, try not to be tense with it. Switch off the knee, switch off the ankle, switch off the foot, switch off your head. If it's uncomfortable with your block, remove your block, whatever works for you. Then very gently, you're going to come back up to the middle. We're going to swap over sides, so lengthen one leg, cross this leg over this side, bring the knee down, give it a bit of weight with this opposite hand. Breathe in, take this other arm out to the side. Whew. And again, just hold it there. Again, try and switch off the calf, the ankle, the knee, whatever's pulling. Just let that hip, just try and let those muscles, try and let them spread out. Rather than resisting, just try and breathe into it. Breathing out and just letting those muscles spread out a little bit. Giving that joint mobility and flexibility and you a bit more movement. And when you're ready, rolling back and hug your knees. Gently come up onto all fours or come into the crouch so that you can just stretch out through those calves. Feel the calves, push your heels down towards the floor and you'll feel those calves stretching. And then we'll come up in a downward dog. Otherwise, come up whichever way works for you, one foot in front of the other, pushing up on a knee, however you can come up. So if you're coming up in downward dog, just give yourself a little bit of space. Push the hips up towards the ceiling. Push your heels down towards the floor. Just pedal through the knees. Push your head away from your hands. Just hips up towards the ceiling. Then when you're ready, bend the knees a little bit. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Bring the hips up. If you've got low blood pressure, bring those arms up first. Otherwise, just slowly uncurl through the spine. Well done. So hopefully you'll have a bit more mobility and stretch through your hips and your lower back, and you'll feel more comfortable and able to continue for longer. Okay, take care. You joined me, Lucia. Take care, bye.